Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
It's good to have you here. I'm Whitney Ward. The Spokane Police Department wants to pursue a pilot project with a new communication system. It's one that could send automated text messages to the public and even send updates on investigations much faster.
KREM 2's chief journalist Amanda Rowley joining us live in the studio tonight to share how the system is expected to improve overall police response. Amanda?
At tonight's council meeting, Spokane City Council is expected to approve the police department's request to buy the My90 communication system. Now, the whole goal behind the pilot project is to improve, even speed up law enforcement's communication with crime victims. The Spokane Police Department is taking steps to improve communications with the public following police response to crimes. With City Council's approval of the My90 system purchase, it's expected to launch next year. A committee report on My90 says it includes the ability to send text messages to 911 callers based on the type of call. Once a dispatcher enters the reported information, a message can be sent automatically to the caller. One example is a collision without injuries. My90 can text instructions on how to exchange information or safely move the vehicles out of the roadway. City Council member Michael Cathcart believes this tool could start to bridge the gap in communication between law enforcement and crime victims.
It's really important, I think, to have that kind of communication so people know, okay, somebody at the city, they did hear my call, they are coming.
Down the road, the system will eventually be able to automatically update crime victims about their police report and investigation, an improvement from waiting on the police department to call back with that information.
Do you believe that this tool will help alleviate some of the struggles that come with lack of resources within the police department?
Yeah, certainly help alleviate, but it's not going to overcome or entirely change. I mean, that can only happen with really more staffing and more individuals, which is hopefully going to happen over time.
The system can also send a variety of surveys that callers can submit regarding community safety. The committee report says this gives the police department insight on officer interactions and create actionable feedback. For now, My90 will be a 2-year pilot program. It will be funded through a grant Spokane Police received last year. Reporting in the studio, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
All right, Amanda, thank you. And also on the council's agenda tonight is approving a formal letter to state leaders expressing concerns about transporting toxic chemicals.
The city says plans are being made to send 2,000 gallons through Spokane after its original route through Oregon caused the state government there to express environmental concerns. Council member Zach Sapone is sponsoring a letter to Governor Jay Inslee, the Deputy Energy Secretary, and the EPA Regional Administrator.
The letter offers alternative solutions, including turning the chemicals into a solid form, which Sapone believes would be a safer alternative.
Well, this morning, the Washington State Superintendent of Public Instruction laid out his proposed 2-year budget. It includes a huge request to tackle what he calls a $4 billion gap.
KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy is live in the studio tonight to break down what he wants to be funded.
Superintendent Chris Rakedahl is asking Governor Jay Inslee for nearly $3 billion in a budget increase for K-12 funding over the next 2 years. And he says it may take some creativity and relentlessness to get there. Washington's chief of schools, Chris Rakedahl, says the state currently underfunds education by $4 billion every year.
Has got us once again in some serious constitutional risk. This budget aims to address that.
Monday, he laid out his biennial budget request, which he says is sensitive to the state's budget issues. He's only asking for $2.9 billion over 2 years. Rakedahl highlighted 3 main budget requests: fully funding special education, increases in spending to transportation, and maintenance, supplies, and school operating costs. The last category, MSOCs, have seen expenses like supplies and insurance rise by as much as 50%.
We're seeking a permanent 9.5% increase to MSOC. These will be enormous opportunities for districts.
But Rakedahl wants to go beyond the basics. He's asking the state to fully fund regional student mental health hubs and announced an apprenticeship model to train and retain credentialed teachers.
To find our paraeducators and those who really want to commit to the profession long term, take them from a paraeducator role to a certificated teacher, pay for their training.
He also outlined an ambitious investment proposal to reduce 25% turnover in classified staff.
We think compensation has a lot to do with that. It's $695 million in the first 2 years. It's $1.6 billion in the following 2 years. That is extremely ambitious, and we should do it.
Rickdahl says funding may have to get creative and may include a new income tax if voters go for it. He's also supportive of a change in funding formulas on federal taxes to get Washington's money back into state coffers. Governor Inslee is expected to put out a spending plan in December, which then goes to the next governor and legislature for the 2025 session. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Shannon, thank you very much. All right, let's talk weather. Officially fall today, but this week the weather is probably going to feel a bit more like summer.
Yes, so Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo standing by right now, tracking the return of the 80-degree temperatures. Jeremy, we like the sound of that.
Whitney, I have an update for you.
Okay.
Mark called in sick tomorrow and they bought it.
And left us here.
Not true.
It's so true. He's just like coughing up a storm over there going, I've got something. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be much warmer than today. Today, upper 70s, pretty widespread, even a few 80s on the map, but it is gorgeous out there thanks to a ridge of high pressure over the top of us. That ridge remains in effect or in place for a little while longer. However, a big shift in the overall weather pattern brings about a storm and a atmospheric trough. This is the worst drawing you've ever seen. If your kids bring home a drawing from school, just be like, this is really good. It's way better than meteorologist Jeremy Legoo's attempt at showing us what's going on in the atmosphere. Here it is. Nothing but sunshine through today and tomorrow. It is going to be gorgeous. Seriously, tomorrow is going to be one of the nicest days between now and the end of the year, if not easily the nicest day by a long shot. Because Wednesday still stays warm, but we have wind and cloud cover to contend with, and by the afternoon, a few scattered showers that move through the region. Those scattered showers likely produce a little bit of thunder and lightning and maybe even some really heavy rain at times, and then just kind of linger through Wednesday night, eventually moving out in time for Thursday, getting a return back to sunshine. But here is a look at your temperatures. 85 tomorrow and sunny. 82 Wednesday, but it's windy with a chance of showers. And then Thursday, we top out in the upper 60s and stay cooler through the end of the week.
All right, Jeremy, thank you. A quick construction alert for you. The northbound off-ramp of US 195 near Cheney-Spokane Road will be closing over the next 2 nights.
Crews will be repaving the off-ramp. WashDOT will be shutting down the interchange tonight and tomorrow night from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. There will be added detours in place.